Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Lee, the founder of Good Buzz. And Good Buzz is part of Giving Forward, a nonprofit that helps raise money for other nonprofits. I'm going to give us a few more minutes for people to stream in. People are streaming in almost 1 a second here right now. So clearly everyone's procrastinating a little bit. So we'll give them some time to get in. Um, and so while we're waiting, I'll give you guys a quick backstory to what Good Buzz is and what Giving Forward is. My day job is I run a digital agency. Happen to have our sponsor Luckii as a client, and so they were great to step up and sponsor this and allow us to test this new democratic way to give away corporate philanthropy by allowing the attendees to events to actually vote on who gets the money. So that's really great of them, and you'll learn a lot more about Luckii as we go on. But just before, so we can get ourselves up to critical mass, I'll give you a quick backstory to Giving Forward and Good Buzz. I've been involved in cause marketing for a long time. Prior to starting Giving Forward, I started a company called We Care, which after raising 8.3 million for nonprofits, became the inspiration for Amazon Smile, which is the polite way of saying that after a 6.5 year partnership and an A/B split test, they decided it was actually a really good idea. So they terminated our agreement and launched Amazon Smile. So I take karma credit for the 140 million that has been generated since Amazon was inspired by We Care. And a little year and a quarter ago, I started Giving Forward and decided to do cause marketing powered content and events that raise money for nonprofits in unique ways. So here we are. This is our technology is being put to the test, where we allow the votes to help distribute sponsorship money. So uh, we've got a bunch of people helping us. I'll obviously want to thank Jason Love for emceeing, and Tony, my friend from the digital marketing business. He'll show up as Tony Frigarita as the co-host. That he's going by that name since that's a product that he's spun out as a side project, which is some spicy pepper flakes. So in any case, I'll quickly go over what Luckii is for those of you curious. Luckii is actually only active in Oregon at the moment. It's an online gaming experience where it's casino style games for real money. It's fully licensed and legal in Oregon only at the moment, and it's very similar to what you might experience from playing slots, but it's based on horse racing data. And they've been live for a couple of months. There've already been people winning 1,600 on a $6 bet, another person $350 on a $2 bet. I think they've got the testimonials of those folks going live soon. But basically, if you like slots, you can now play something very slot-like, but it's actually based on horse racing data, so it's technically a horse racing application in Oregon only. So we created a Laugh 20 code. So if you want to try it out for free, you get $20 in free credits if you go and register. And we'll also be at the end of the event. We'll take anybody who registered during the event, and we'll do a drawing for a set of EarPod Pros. So go register on Luckii if you have any interest at all in slots. That's sort of fun to play. I played it obviously myself with fake money while Luckii became a client under my Did It business, which is my day job. So I'm going to turn it over to Tony and let Tony give you some of the sort of rules of the show, particularly if you're in the live audience, with regards to make sure you don't be too disruptive. Try not to have your mic set too high. And but we want to hear you. We want to hear the studio audience, because it makes comedy more funny when you can hear people laughing. We didn't want to do a laugh track. We wanted to make it authentic. So Tony, whenever you're ready, take it away.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. Nice to see everyone. We got a great crowd here. I'd like to welcome you to the show. Hello, says Kevin said. My name is Tony Winders, and I'm a friend of Kevin's and a staunch supporter of your first comedian and our MC, Jason Love. I actually introduced the two of them. I think Kevin came to one of Jason's Zoom comedy shows, so I had a small hand in the creation of tonight's show. Now, Jason actually produces one of the most popular online comedy shows. It's called Live Comedy in Your Living Room, and does the show a couple of times each month. If you like what you see tonight, we would invite you to join us for another great lineup of comics next weekend. And you can sign up for Jason's email list at jasonlove.com, and you'll get an invite in your inbox this coming week. As Kevin said, I'm also the co-founder of Fuegorita, the hotter, better crushed red pepper. So that's a product that my wife and I have created, and we'll share a little bit more about later. We'll actually put a discount code in the URL in the Zoom chat a little bit later. But we have so much fun planned tonight, so let's get to it. Now, I've attended dozens of Zoom comedy shows over the past year, and the most fun and engaging ones are when the audience and the comics work together. It's kind of like being in a real comedy club, except the entire audience has a microphone. So as you can imagine, a lot can go wrong. So to that end, let's cover some of the ground rules for tonight's performance. Most importantly is audience. In Zoom, we have an attendee section and a panelist section. Now, everyone sees the same show, but the panelists' microphones are hot, so the comics can hear their laughter. And for those of you in the panelist section, just remember your laughter and applause are what make this a great show, but the comics hear everything, and so do the rest of us. So we ask that you keep your microphone a few feet away, adjust your audio settings downward by 2/3 in Zoom if you know how to do that. If not, don't sweat it. And most importantly, if you need to talk or there's background noise where you are, just mute yourself so we don't have to do it for you, because there's nothing more embarrassing than getting kicked out of a comedy show in your own home. So that's the number one. Now, with video, that's another thing that makes these Zoom comedy shows so much fun. So we encourage you to keep your camera on, because the comics seeing your faces is another way they receive feedback. And as far as what you see on video, in the upper right-hand corner of Zoom, you can choose speaker view or gallery view, depending on whether you want to see everyone Brady Bunch style or just the comic who's performing at that moment. And finally, another thing that makes the show really highly interactive is the chat window in Zoom, which I see some of you have already found, so that's good. Now, to use chat, you would just click on the chat icon at the bottom portion of the Zoom interface. The audience and the comics will see everything you type, so be sure to show the performers some love throughout the show. And we'll be sharing other information in the Zoom chat throughout the evening. So keep an eye on the chat pane for information about the comics and the sponsors and Luckii and more. So that's it for our housekeeping announcements. Right now, it's my sincere pleasure to introduce the man responsible for bringing this outstanding lineup of comedians to you tonight. In addition to producing live comedy in your living room, he's appeared on HBO, America's Got Talent, Sirius XM, and Dry Bar Comedy. Please put your hands together for my friend and your guide for tonight's comedic performances, the one, the only, Jason Love.
All right. Hey, thank you, Tony. Thank you, everybody, for coming here. After your big talk, we got, we've got some people unmuting. So Sean Franks, you're the early adopter. Congrats. Sherry, I think we got some feedback on you, so I'm going to have to mute you. We love you for trying, though, for participating. So thank you all for coming. Sean Franks, I got to mute you, man. All right. Well, we have a fantastic lineup, and I would love to give the props due to Kevin Lee, who is coming from New York. And you can tell by the way he pronounces it, Oregon. But out here on our coast here, it's Oregon, Kevin, but we won't hold that against you. And for those of you who are in the panelist section, please do unmute so long as you have a quiet background. We'd love to hear your laughs. It makes it a lot more fun. And we wanted to make this Oregon-centric, so we found the best comics from your area. One we lost because he got a bigger, better deal performing live. And so we replaced him with a killer guest spot, but we have to call a lateral. This will be news to Kevin and to Tony, because one of our comics is about to go on stage and she needs to go up early. So, like Tom Brady at the line, I'm reading the defense, Kevin, and I'm going to bring to the stage first a very funny comedian who is coming to you from the Tacoma Comedy Club. Her name is Monica Nevi.
Yay! We got it figured out.
Yeah.
Hopefully. There we go. I can hear you. Good, good, good. Okay. So everybody, do I sound okay? Good. All right. Oh no. Hearing a lot of this stuff. You guys, okay. Oregon, I'm from Washington. Is that okay? Am I still allowed to hang out? Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, there it is. I can hear you a little bit. Tacoma, you know, the nicest place in Washington for sure. I'm actually from Renton, Washington. Hopefully that's okay. I feel like I can hear him trying to mute people because there's feedback. He's trying to figure out who it is, but okay. You know what? Look, it's been almost a full year of doing Zoom shows. I feel just as good with your comments. So don't worry. I'm going to just keep going and we'll figure it out. Thank you for letting me be here, even though I am in the green room of a comedy club. Yeah, I am from Washington. I hope that's okay. I'm from Renton, Washington.
You muted
me. Yeah, you muted me for a second. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We're trying to figure out, this is what happens when you have a popular Zoom show. There's a lot of people to deal with. So good. And I love charity, of course, especially when donations are coming my way. So that's good. I'm from Renton. I don't know if you've ever gone home and had something speak to you so much where you're just like, this is home, right? So I got home for the holidays last year. We go to a bar. This is when it was allowed. We go to a bar downtown Renton. There's a 60-year-old woman hammered drunk. Okay. So they kick her out of the bar and she goes to her car and changes her shirt so that she can come back in the bar. The most beautiful part to me was we could see the whole thing. As she came through the door, the bartender was like, you know what? A for effort, get back in here. Let's do this. It's a cool place. You should visit. That is the hard part about this. I miss being around my family for sure. I miss being around my family. They are drinkers. That's the thing. They drink. They love Bud Light. That's what my family's up to. My grandma drinks it. My parents drink it. And I'm from the Northwest, Oregon. You guys get it. When I turned 21, I was like, I'm going to drink microbrews. I'm doing signature cocktails. Okay. I know what's up. Now I just turned 31 and I'm like, oh, Bud Light, I get it. You can have 12 and still drive. Got it. That's what their angle was. So we're going to make it through though. It is interesting. I love traveling. I miss the traveling too. I was lucky to come and do some stuff in Oregon in the in the fall when it was allowed. I think we've all decided that we are so different based on where we're from, and I don't think that's it. Like I think we're just doing different stuff, right? Like here's a good Seattle example. I was doing a show. There's a couple in the front row. They get in a fight while I'm on stage, and he gets up and he leaves. And I go, "Oh my gosh, is everything okay?" And she looks up at me and she goes, dog stuff, which is it's a Seattle answer, right? I was like, is that why he left? Is the dog in the car? And she said yes. And I was like, you guys, the dog will be fine for an hour and a half or whatever. The baby is in there to keep it company. And she didn't like that. We have one person unmuted. That's great. Now, and then, so I was in Lexington, Kentucky, because my career is there. And similar situation, there's a couple in the second row. They're not arguing, but they're talking, which is annoying. And I was like, hey, is everything okay?
You just froze up there.
Looked down. I did? Is that me freezing? Oh no. Or are we got it?
You're good to me.
You're good.
I'm fine. Okay, perfect. So you can't be yelling random things. No, I don't know what's happening. Okay, cool. I don't know why when you said that, I stopped too, to be like, that was like, to go along with it. I was like, I'm frozen. Oh, can they see me? What was I saying? Oh, Kentucky, right. They're talking. I look down and he is wearing what I would describe as a camo print hammer pant. I said, sir, are you wearing camo sweats right now? And with that same face, he looked up at me and he goes, they're real tree. which I didn't know what that meant. He then has to tell me that it's a pattern that's supposed to look like real trees. And all I can say was, either way, I can still see you. So please don't talk. There we go. There it is. It's a tough. I'm glad you guys are here. We're all being safe. You know, I follow the rules. I'm a rule follower, so I didn't break any of the rules. I wear my mask. I don't go places. The only thing I did was I did get a haircut when I wasn't supposed to. And I know some people get upset about that. But if you have long hair, you understand that at some point it's trying to murder you in your sleep. And I let it go past that, right? Like I was putting deodorant on it. It's not like, it's not good. And I let it go farther than that too. And the straw that broke the camel's back was that people with long hair know this. Sometimes you're in the shower and it goes down your back and into your butt crack. And I was trying to get it out of there, and I felt like one of those clowns pulling a scarf out of its sleeve. Right? There we go. Okay, now this feels good. You guys are better than the in-person audience I had. Okay.
Oh God.
It's such a weird time. I'm like a nationally touring stand-up comedian. That's what I did before. I traveled every week. And then now I am a stay-at-home remote learning facilitator, right? I didn't even have kids before this. I don't know how it happened. It's frustrating. He's there all the time in second grader. He's there all the time. And you have to remember, if you're stuck in this situation too, you got to remember what their structure at school is, right? They have recess. You got to take them outside. Find a game you can beat them at. It makes you feel so much better. I am putting up Matumbo numbers in blocks right now. Oh, man. Well, it's a weird time too, because it's definitely the social aspect of school. You forget how important that is for them, right? And now they're all so weird all of a sudden. Like they don't, as soon as they see each other now, they're like, who let you out? You know, like it's affecting them. And like he knows that he's supposed to be he knows he's supposed to be a boy, you know, like he sees, but he's not interested in those things. Like the other day he came in the house and he was like, woo, yeah, I love musicals. Like that's the wrong energy for that, but I like it. They're on, they're on screens all the time. Even for school, they're on screens, and so of course it's gonna escalate a bit. He made the bad choice going onto the parent side of his tablet, and he's tried to search naked girls, which is not good. He's only 7. That's not good. Lucky for us was just a bunch of barbecues with no cover on it, so that worked out. But,
Grills.
oh man, sorry. I mean, we're weird enough with it, like on the screens all the time now anyways, right? My mother is 65, and for that, whatever reason, she's very active on Facebook. Women in their 60s love Facebook. I don't know what has happened, but that's what they're doing. So now she'll tag me and stuff that's like very sentimental, but she didn't grow up with social media like I kind of did. And so she'll tag me in things that are like, daughters are God's gift to the earth. And I'm like, Mom, that's not human connection. Like text it to me or something. Why? Just don't call me, because that's weird. It was the longest leg. I was like, I don't think they like it. I am a millennial. I just turned 31 just a couple of days ago, actually. And I have to stand up for us just briefly. Millennials get a lot of flack, okay? And I'm gonna just clarify one thing about millennials. We did not give ourselves participation trophies, okay? You guys, we give them for ourselves. It wasn't a group of us as 6-year-olds that sat our parents down like, hey, we're gonna implement a new trophy system where the only losers are you guys. Like, that never happened.
Oh, it's so good to hear people laugh.
It's nice. Oh, it's good. Oh God. And then I kicked my thing. Okay, we're going good. I'll do a couple more and then I gotta go, host this other show. What a weird time. I'm having fun with you guys. So thank you for letting me be here. And I like Oregon. So when we're allowed, come see me in real life. I can't promise that it's better, but it's good. I got engaged the day after Christmas. I got engaged. Thank you. It's that's another weird thing right now, right? We got engaged and you can't really like have an engagement party. So to celebrate, we decided between going to an Airbnb for the weekend or getting a squatty potty. Those were our two choices. Don't worry, we went with the Airbnb, but then I stole their squatty potty. So nice. It was nice. All right. Some birthdays were close. The 6th was my birthday. Whoever said theirs was the 10th. That's nice. Let's see. What else are we going to do? I hope you guys are good. I hope you're holding up okay. I think it's going to be okay. I think we're going to be okay. I miss doing the shows. I miss the travel. That's the part, like, I got to do my first international shows in 2018. I went to England, which was interesting. Yeah, it's very fun. They're fancier than us, you guys. I don't know if you knew that. They're fancier than us. Where I'm from, you go to the nice restaurant, right? You walk into the Applebee's. And you look around and you're like, oh no, I should have worn sweats. Like that's what I'm coming from.
You're kind of cutting out.
I'm in London. I'm waiting for a train next to this woman. We're going to Hogwarts or whatever we're up to. Am I now? Of course, this is the last one. I was going to end on this. Am I still cutting out?
You're okay.
That's a really good joke. I'll type it in the chat. Now it's good. Perfect.
I can't stop now.
I was getting ready to type it out.
Put it in chat.
So I'm in London waiting for a train. We're going to Hogwarts or whatever we're up to. And I look down and I go, oh, my friend has. No, she doesn't. I was like, damn. She said these were $1,500. And I was like, what did you buy them at an airport? Why are they that expensive? Right. Right. I feel like I cut out again. I don't know what's happening. Or a few people can hear me.
It's okay.
It's the worst time. Okay. Well, don't worry. I have albums. Look, get my albums. They're fantastic. All right. Thank you guys very much for having me. I appreciate it.
We love
you.
Right. Monica Nevi, everybody. She's making it work. I know you got a lot of positive comments, Monica, in the chat room. People loved you. And yes, for those of you who said that she was buffering, she was, because she made time for us by coming to us from the green room. So that's the best we could get her at. I'm actually in a green room too. I have a live show in Bakersfield. If you're from Oregon, then you know Bakersfield is kind of like, the hub of entertainment here in California. Not so much. I'm in the middle of nowhere, everybody, where dreams are born. So in Oregon, the last time I was in Portland, you guys were on fire. Have you all come back? Has your state come back to you?
No.
Now we're
Kind of.
freezing.
Yes.
Little by little, yeah. It was scary when I was there, man. It looked like a war had hit it. But we,
All boarded
yeah,
up.
yeah. And Lori, where do you live, Lori Lucas?
Southeast Portland.
Southeast Portland? Oh, you break it into quadrants, southeast?
Yeah, yes, that's how Portland's set up. Yeah.
Okay. I live in northwest LA.
East
Area.
of downtown.
Well, we get fires too, Lori. Like some of them are going to happen naturally, but we had the one that was started by the gender reveal. You remember that? Yeah. Where blue smoke meant boy and pink smoke, 20,000 acres. Oh, man. Yeah, it turned out to be an IQ reveal. I can't believe we're still doing that in California anyway with the gender reveal. Does that seem politically correct anymore? I thought we wait till they're 6 and then they hand us an envelope. A drum roll, please. It's a girl. She's sticking with it. All right. Yeah, I got to do, this is one of the few in-person shows I've done in a while here in Bakersfield. They're always after us about how the shows are going to be, 50% capacity only, half audiences only. Yeah, which is perfect because that's exactly what I'm used to. I did a drive-in show where they come, they pull up and it's dark and it's just a bunch of headlights coming at you. It's like performing in gridlock. And you can't hear them laugh. So when they like a joke, they just honk. I'm getting heckled by a Ford Escort. What's become of me? Yeah, I haven't gotten to travel at all. Like Monica was mentioning that her whole life is travel, and so is mine. But it's been nice to be home. I'm kind of getting to like it. I took a Spirit airline, and here's the thing. I had never been on a Spirit. I'm here. Everything's fine. But they bait you. Don't do it, Oregon. It's the cheapest ticket on the list, but then they charge you for everything. You may as well just fly a real airline. Yeah. If you don't buy the ticket at the airport, $50 both ways. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Customer surcharge, passenger surcharge. If they charge for my overhead luggage, cha-ching. And yeah, in an emergency, oxygen will fall from the ceiling. Just swipe your credit card. Spirit Airline. As you leave, the pilot's got a tip jar. Help me out, buddy. I'm saving up for flight school. Come on. It is the one time that you actually pay attention to the safety instructions, though. You're like, I might need these. They said that in the event of a water landing, that my seat would double as a flotation device. I'm like, in the event of a water landing, my seat's going to double as a toilet device. Way before then. It'll be unusable. So this is great. Well, you guys really came around. At first, this looked like it was going to be a train wreck, and look at you. We all came together. And Kevin Lee has put so much work into it, and I wanted to make him proud. But like Tony said, the show depends so much on you guys. So thanks for that, and coming with your A game as the audience. Yeah, my last name is Love, by the way. That's my actual driver's license name. You know what it sucks for is sometimes you'll fly and they send a driver to pick you up with the little sign. He's got to feel stupid waiting for me. Love. Anyone? Yeah, looking for love in all the I am married to a woman, in case you made a bet. She's great. My dad was a football player and a mechanic, so imagine his delight. Yeah. His son is slowly turning into Ellen. Transition's almost complete. Yeah, I got married last December, so we've now spent 10 of our 11 months together, whatever it is, completely shut down. We were going to go to Greece in May.
No.
Now my wife is like, yeah, I know. We had all these plans, all these romantic outings. Now Patty's like, cellmate, soulmate. What's the difference?
Pretty much the same.
Yeah. We did go wine tasting. That was our big excursion. I didn't mind the wine drinking, but as soon as it got into all these, like, the poetic faces, oh, this tastes like smoky herbal dusk. Really? Tastes like a time of day. How sophisticated. I'm on my fourth glass going, mine tastes like purple. More purple.
More purple.
They had we did that in Temecula, which is by San Diego.
Good one.
And when you do wine tasting in Temecula, they try to get you to package it with hot air ballooning. Yeah, kind of ambitious, isn't it? Like, now that you got a buzz, why don't you go risk your life? Come on, make a weekend of it. I couldn't. Patty wanted to do it, and I couldn't, man. I've seen hot air ballooning from the ground, and it doesn't look good when they're doing it right. It's a giant balloon with an open flame and a picnic basket full of people. What could go wrong? I know. I don't know. A breeze? A 12-year-old with a drone? Do the math, buddy. Come on. Oh, man. Hey, well, let me leave you with a musical thing. I've been playing so much guitar, as you do when you're in prison. And I've been working on some new stuff. Did you know that there's no such thing as Kokomo? Yeah, the Beach Boys made it up. There's Kokomo there's Kokomo, Indiana. Maybe they were talking about. Maybe they're talking about that.
That's what it was.
No mountains and no beach. A Kmart if you're lucky. Oh, cold, you almost don't wanna make your parole. Way down in Coca, Pittsburgh and Dayton. Come on, don't be hating. South Bend and Carmel, can't you hear the cowbells? Warsaw and Munster, kind of like a dumpster down in Kokomo. All right. Well, hey, you guys are awesome. We really appreciate you coming around and being such a great audience. And I don't want to cheat you of the other comics because we got you the best that the Northwest can offer. But we wanted to do a giveaway, yeah, Kevin, between the acts?
Yeah, so the first we'll do a giveaway, and it'll be based on them putting the answer into the chat. So they can't yell it out because we're not going that way. We're going to do it, where we can prove who gets it first. So the first giveaway, it's probably the first time that it's ever, actually, no, the first giveaway, we're going to give away something that's probably not been given away before, which is organic fertilizer from Joyful Dirt. So this is sort of like a Portlandish kind of thing to give away, which would be organic fertilizer. But yeah, I came across a nonprofit as we were trying to look at nonprofits to support in the community, and we came across an interesting one, and it's a nonprofit bakery in Portland that sells cupcakes and is staffed by adults with brain injuries. So put the name of that bakery into the chat. First person to put it in there gets the win organic fertilizer. So
no, they make cupcakes.
Yes, they make cupcakes, and it's staffed by adults with brain injuries.
Sorry, my bad.
Anybody know the answer?
I want to know.
Where someone got it there. It's cerebellum. right? And of course, yeah, exactly. Somebody got the double entendre. But it's spelled Sarah as the name, and of course cerebellum, right? Brain injury. Anyway, so they did their own joke in creating the name of this nonprofit, and so now somebody has organic fertilizer, and given that it's probably a person in Portland, we know they won't be growing regular herbs. So let us know who's next, Jason.
All right, nicely done. And yeah, this is what Kevin's about here. This is about he has a company called Good Buzz and Giving Forward, and it's all about doing good while we laugh and come together. So Kevin doing everything right. Tony mentioned my show, which is just a regular old for-profit thing. But anybody here who's here for the cause tonight, you're welcome to come for free. It's only $5, but I can give you that. Just hit me up. I'm at jasonlove.com. That's my name. Just hit me up and I'll give you guys free tickets. Okay, are you ready for your next comedian?
Yeah.
There's the spirit. Yeah, and organic fertilizer is so Oregon, you guys. That is a perfect pick, Kevin. Okay, this is our special guest spot. Everybody loves her. She's super funny. She has been on Laughs on Fox and MTV. Put your hands together for the very funny Sierra Katow.
Hey, what's up, guys? Give it up for Jason Love. Always great. He really nails the shoulders and above Ellen impression. Like something about those dance moves. I don't know what it is, but it's just uncanny. So excited to be here. Thanks for having me. I was really excited to see everyone's passion defending the pronunciation of Oregon. I was so impressed with that in the chat. This is like, I need you guys with me all the time for my own last name. My last name is spelled Katow, K-A-T-O-W. It's actually pronounced Katow. It was all messed up, at some point down the line. And I would say if I just had you guys, if I had half of the respect for my own last name that you guys carry for your state, I would be so successful. I would just be a self-respecting individual. Imagine that life, wow. I'm actually in Los Angeles right now. My boss, though, that I'm working from home for a boss who's currently working out of Portland, and he said that he had a snowstorm that he was
Ice.
for. You guys
Ice.
A lot of snow.
Oh man, best of luck with that. I literally the temperature here dropped below 70, and that's why I'm coming to you guys from my own bed. I couldn't get out. I'm still under the covers. I had to get all that. I have to wear this jacket in my own bed. So that's my
In your bed.
Southern California born and raised. Can't stand anything below 70.
Wow.
So much respect. It's Lunar New Year today. I hope you guys saw that. If you did, you need more Asian friends. I think that's all I can. I can be your Asian friend. That's fine. I've done it before. Very good at it. What I would say is, what I like about it is it kind of gives you a second chance. It gives you a second chance at New Year's, right? Because we kind of had it in January 1st, and then now we have it again around February-ish normally, and it makes me realize, you know what? I can start over. I can download a second workout app, right? The first one we never opened it, but here's another one coming at us, right? Just make sure you clear your home screen. Also, you're supposed to not clean anything today or shower even. You're not even supposed to wash your hair because that means you're washing out good luck for the year. But I didn't know this. I showered today, so I screwed this year for all. I'm so sorry. It's on me for not knowing the traditions, and that's on me. And people always wonder about setting New Year's resolutions. I think this year. Do we? Right? No, we don't, because that just means we're just going to be setting up more disappointment. Is that what we want to do? Lay out more things that we're never going to do because we can't leave our bed this year? Okay. You too? Great. It's been a weird time, right? I mean, I like I said, I work from home. I'm very grateful for that. What I've been able to find, though, is even without leaving my own home, I can still find danger, you know? This is my special skill, right? Put it in the CV. What I've discovered, I cut my finger this quarantine. I was just trying to, you know, me, my greedy little mind, I was trying to get another slice of lemon out of the little lemon. Cut my finger with a butter knife. Yes, we do have serrated butter knives here in this household. I'm very bougie, okay? But yeah, so I cut my finger. I couldn't do it. I realized, I used to think maybe, you know, maybe there's a world where I could have done blood, you know, done one of those blood jobs, doctor, blood drive person, some third blood job. That's what I used to think. After this, yes, vampire. All right, I'm looking at the chat. I like that. I'm gonna add that. I'm using that, stealing it. No, and you know what? I can't. So that's what I learned. Can't do blood. So much appreciation to the people that can, because it's impossible. I also realized that you know, the other day I was taking a gummy vitamin, just your daily gummy vitamin, almost choked. Just it went up my nose somehow. It went into my sinuses. A piece of this gummy. Right. And oh, the irony, right? I'm taking these gummies to hopefully be healthier, elongate my life. It almost cut my life completely short. That's the beauty of me in quarantine, just completely, yeah, incapable of really life. It's really hard. Okay. So here's another fun thing. Okay, so we know now Chinese New Year, we have Valentine's Day is coming up, right? Everybody so excited. Unless you're not, then buy yourself some flowers. It's totally fine. I gotta say, what I've always complained about is it is a lot harder for me to pick out I think it's harder for me to pick out a gift for a boy. Okay, because for guys to pick out a gift for girls, like it's like flowers, jewelry, call it a day, and like that's chill and that's
already
excited.
there.
But for a guy, it's like you can only buy so many easy tool things that fit in their wallet or whatever the hell people decided boys like. It's like for men, and it's like all these tools. Like everybody's just constantly fixing and breaking things. Like Monica was talking about being a millennial. I'm also a millennial. We don't know how to fix things. This is not a thing we were told, right? We were given participation trophies and told that other people will fix stuff for us. Have I fixed anything recently? No, it's all those little one tools I bought, I've given them away, right? Terrible. What I did do is I actually got one of those little crocheting kits. Are you guys getting advertised this, or am I the only sad person in quarantine? I got a little crochet kit and I made these little peas. These little peas. Like little green balls, and they go inside of a pod that you also crochet. You're welcome. That's not a joke. It's just a real thing. Exactly. Just a real thing you can do. And look, I'll close out on this. You guys have been wonderful, and coming to you live from my bed, so I have a limit here. I will say that my boyfriend, we have been quarantined together for a while. Very thankful for him. He blows his nose so loud. Do we understand? So loud, like it's as if he's calling for help in a deserted forest. I don't really understand, but this is something I've learned. We're learning together. But yeah, so what I'm thinking is, if anyone is ever thinking of going on a hike, worried about, oh, what do I do if I get stranded? Yeah, just make sure you have my boyfriend and allergies, I guess, because you'll be saved. It's the nose heard round the world. Okay, that's all I got for you tonight. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Happy New Year.
Right. Sierra Katow, as we find out. Nicely done, Sierra, and thank you for filling in last minute like that. We really appreciate it. And hey, everybody is putting so many comments in the chat section that it's hard to catch up. One of you said that hot sauce is a good gift, and I gave hot sauce to my dad because he's into it. And they have all these funny names. That's half the fun. And then we were having this like fundraiser, and the priest was there, and my dad put these hot sauces around the table. I'm like, oh, Father, can you please pass the slap your mama? Yeah, it's right there. No, that's the sweaty crack, not the sweaty crack. The slap your. No, that's the devil's horns, Father. It was awesome. Okay. We're gonna do a giveaway. I'm gonna throw it back to our dear friend Kevin Lee, giving away something organic. I'm gonna bet on that.
No, this time what we're going to do is for people who actually are going to bother signing up for Luckii or want to sign up for Luckii, it's a Luckii related question. So we can give away $100 in free Luckii bucks if they want, in addition to their 20 that they get by signing up with the Laugh 20. So obviously this will be Oregon only. So the question is, which organization licenses Luckii to allow for online gaming? And first person to put it in there gets the Luckii bucks.
Which organization?
Yes.
Holy shit!
Yep, somebody got it. I think somebody got it. So we're going to figure out later who won, because we'll see the chat, because it goes by too fast for us. So it's the Oregon Racing Commission, because it's horse racing based. So the data is horse racing based. That's the little, I wouldn't call it a loophole necessarily, but that's how they ended up getting something that looks and smells like a slot machine to be authorized in Oregon, which I'm trying to pronounce properly now. Who do we have next, Jason?
All right, nicely done. So what was the answer? It was a horse racing people?
The Racing Commission, yeah.
The Racing Commission of Oregon. All right, nicely done. I was on the show, remember the show Luck on HBO with Dustin Hoffman and Nick Nolte? It only lasted one season. Michael Mann was the producer because they hurt the horses. I had a role on that, Kevin. That was my big break. And they abused the horses. And I walked away in shame. I still can't even admit it to half the people I know. Okay.
Now everybody knows, Jason.
Yeah. Not so much shame that I won't tell you I got a part next to Dustin Hoffman. Of course, I'm going to say that, Kevin. Okay. My only acting part that I've ever got. Okay. Your next comedian. I got a chance to work with this guy. Speaking of people who can act and has gotten a lot of great roles. But I worked with him on Princess Cruise Lines, where he just killed it. He is the pride of the Northwest. Put your hands together for Carl Banks. Where are we, Carl? Did Carl go missing? Tell me Carl didn't go missing.
There we go. Can you hear me?
There he is. There he is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't see me. There I am. Do you see me in the snow?
No.
There
I'm in the snow. That's my backyard. I live in the Northwest. I'm in Kentucky. You guys know Vancouver?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, Southern Washington, baby. Yes, I'm right across the bridge. Beautiful thing. Happy, and it's sad today because it's Black History Month, and I couldn't make it out to Pendleton for the big Black Roundup, so it's been quiet. Oh, stop it. Who hasn't been to Pendleton? You've seen the Black people there, both of them. But I'm a survivor, people. I am proud to say that I am 2 years cancer-free now.
Yay!
Yes, I got the esophageal cancer, and I don't know if anybody's had that, but it's a little hard to swallow. So I'm blessed though, because when they found out and everything, they took out 1/3 of my stomach, 2/3 of my esophagus, and sewed them together. And now I eat tapas all day because I can't eat a full meal. Oh yes, I poop pellets, people. Pellets. I got the 2 daughters now. I have the 2 daughters, right? I have 2 girls. I was there when they were both conceived. 15 and 10. 15 and 10. That's what I call them till they earn their names. We've been snowed in. They're very lazy children because I put them in Catholic school. They're good kids, but they're lazy. You know what I mean? Because Catholic school is expensive. You know, Catholic school makes parents more religious. Because when I sign a check, I go, Jesus Christ. So, I love these kids, man. But I'm trying to get them into the workforce, you know, because they need to start doing chores. I send them down to the basement in the morning, and I'll give them some Hot Pockets and Red Bull and instructions. And I'll come back 8 hours later, and they're like, we don't know how to make shoes. You know, they're very lazy. It's a sad thing. But yeah.
Man, these kids nowadays don't know how to make shoes.
You know, they're lazy. They're lazy, you know? I mean, man. And my wife, she still loves me. We've been locked down for a year, and she's still really cool about this, you know? I mean, this is my new hat, you know? I like this hat because it's like, all right, it's understatement. You know what I mean? I got a Carter. I'm rocking a Carter right now. You want to see the hat my wife made me? This was the hat she made me when I got cancer, all right? This is the cancer hat. You ready for this? Come on, man. Come on. I look like the dude on the movie from the week. Come on, man. I'm gonna fall in love with the girlfriend in the apartment downstairs and find out she's blind. Oh Lord, I tell you. But the good part is, before the cancer, I was bald already, so they have no excuse. But I tell you one thing, I'm cancer free now, 100% clear. Feels good. Yes. I feel excited to be able to take a shower by myself. I love that now. Because when they have you hooked up to the feeding machine, you had the feeding tube. I had the pole outside my shower, and it always felt creepy, like somebody was staring at me. And I had a hose coming out of me while I was showering. I looked like I was like Neo from the Matrix. I couldn't do anything cool. You know, who remembers that show 24?
Yeah.
Remember that show? Yes. Yeah, I used to live in LA. I lived in LA. Jack Bauer's full of crap. You know that? Jack Bauer was talking about, I'm in the valley. I'll be over in Santa Monica in 10 minutes. No, you won't,
Well,
Jack.
your brother's probably going to die tonight. Anyway.
You know what I mean? That clock would still be ticking if he was dealing with LA traffic, man. Jack Bauer is a pain in the neck, man. And it's the thing, you know. That's why, you know, I had to move out of LA.
He's never going to make it back up here.
Well, when my daughter, I know. When my daughters were born, I said, we have to move to Washington State because I didn't want them hanging out with, you know, Paris Hilton and not wearing underwear. And daughters are hard to learn, man. They're very hard to learn. Like, I'm driving them to school last year, right? I can remember that, driving them to school. And last year I was driving to school and one got a bloody nose, my 10-year-old in the back seat. If you do the subtraction, last year she was 9. Okay, so she said, my nose is bleeding, blood running down her nose. I said, oh my God. So I said to my older daughter, who was 14 at the time, help, do something, grab some tissues. She said, there's no tissues. She reached in her purse. I said, what? You have a purse? You're only 14. What do you need a purse for? And then she put out a tampon. Oh, Lord. This is a DIY moment I don't want to learn. So now she got my poor little baby girl impaled with a string hanging out her nose, leaning with snot bubbles coming out the other one. And I'm asking her, why are you carrying your mother's tampon? Why did you steal your mother's tampon? Because I did not want to accept the fact that she had one. Oh, man. That's how I found out that was happening. I live with my wife is a very smart woman. She has a very huge vocabulary. You know, we live together because we're married and because I made these kids with her. And it's interesting, you know, because, you know, she, I could tell she thinks things like she uses big words, like to tell me she loves me. I'm like, I love you. And she'll mumble like, you know, Stockholm syndrome, you know, stuff like that. Trip. I love her though, you know. My wife's fun. You know, she likes to joke around. She likes to pillow fight. You guys pillow fight? You know, my wife still loves that, but she does it wrong. Like I'll be sleeping and I wake up and there's a pillow on my face, right? And I'm like, "Ooh, ooh." And it feels like she's holding it down with all her weight, though, right? And I can hear her laughing. Yeah, she's crazy, man. She's a big Shakespeare fan, you know. Man, but the thing she likes to do, she does this thing called the bathtub game. I call it taking a bath, right? But she likes to do the bathtub game. Is when I'm taking a bath and she'll come in real quiet. She's very quiet, and she'll come in with a toaster, right? And it won't be unplugged though. It's still plugged in, and I'm like, I don't want toaster right now. And she said, yeah, you know, she's crazy, man. I love her. She's crazy. Keeps me on my toes. She does keep me on my toes, though. Definitely. But now living up here, man, I love it up here. You know, I wear my little mask, you know, for safety and everything. My daughter was born up here, right? That was crazy, man. I'm not going to tell you how we made her, but me and my wife had sex, right? And so she woke up and I was like, I think you're pregnant. And like 9 months later, you know, because like she went through the whole thing of pregnancy. It's like human Jiffy Pop, right? She was like, not my stomach, you know, because she got real, like the pregnancy made her angry, you know. She got, you know, that's how she talk anyway. But I love her, you know, and she get real angry, and I would push her, you know, her dinner through a cage, and no, it was for my safety, she said. So she was just great, though. She was great. She got pregnant and everything, and then when she went into labor, that was crazy, man, because we were at home. And I will tell you, I live in Vancouver, but I'm kind of rich, you know. I have a garage attached to my house, and all of a sudden we're in the kitchen, right? And she's like, my water broke. And I'm like, shut up. Water doesn't break because I took science, right? And she's like, no, stupid, I'm in labor. And I'm like, you peed on the floor too, right? So now she wasn't ready for any of this, right? She wasn't ready at all. She was like, I was like, what's going on? What do I have to do? And she was like, you got to drive. And I'm like, what? I just had like 5 beers. And then, so now it's on me, right? You know, she can't take a cab. You know, she's not about that, right? So I put her in the car in the garage and I warm it up and I said, you just sit there and be comfortable. I got to run back in real quick because, you know, I got a half a beer, right? Anyway, all of a sudden I look over and it's the last episode of Game of Thrones, right? And I'm like, oh, you know, because that show was amazing. You got to admit. So now, a little time goes by. I had another beer. I come back out and I'm like, you should have seen Game of Thrones. And she's sleeping already, right? You know, drooling. She talks in her sleep. You know, carbon this and that, she's saying, right? So I pull the hose out of the window, right? Stick with me, people. I'm still here. We traveled to the hospital, right? And then she woke up, right? And she's like, oh, I'm like, oh, look who fell asleep. And the phone rang, and I gave her the phone. And she got on the phone with the doctor. She's real smart though, because she was like, yes, I'm 3 centimeters dilated. That's what she said. And I was like, what? When did you learn the metric system? We're not Canadian, right? It blew my mind though, man. When you see a birth, it's an amazing thing. Like, I'm gonna tell you this before I go. When I saw my daughter come out, I was like, oh my God, I am never gonna have sex again. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. And I live in the Northwest, right? You gotta be happy. People, God bless you all. Get out there and buy some Cosmic Crisp apple too. I love the Cosmic Crisp in the Northwest, baby.
Home of the Cosmic
Give
Crisp.
it back to my man, Jason Love, the most handsome, beautiful dude around.
Carl Banks, everybody. Let him hear it. Carl Banks.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for having me, Jason.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you doing it. I love Carl's style. It's like jazz. It's all between the beats. I love it, man. Okay.
Cheers.
And you got some good comments over there. By the way, Carla B says that she has that hat that you have. Same hat.
Oh man, she knows my wife.
She knows your wife.
My wife makes all kinds of uncomfortable looking stuff.
Yeah, and then you got a lot of
my Truly. I'm not ghetto. I had to sip it off camera.
Yeah, you can't be ghetto wearing that knit cap of yours, Carl.
And drinking a Truly. Drinking a Truly, yeah. I'm bound to start fights tonight.
With other people with knitted hats on.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's a
I'll
chance.
See you soon, brother.
Thanks again, Carl. We appreciate you doing it, man. So there's a chance, everybody, Tony and Kevin, that they may need to kick me out here. And if that's the case, I'll be gone when this thing rolls around again. So I'm going to put my little offering to you right now in the chat. If you want to come to our show, just hit me up. It's because it's out of support for Luckii and for all the good things that Kevin does. And speaking of which, Kevin's about to do a good thing right now.
Right, so we'll do another giveaway. This time, in the interest of nonprofits, this time whichever person puts at least 4 Oregon nonprofit radio stations into the chat, and
radio
we'll take it later. So nonprofit, there are a lot of nonprofit radio stations in Oregon, and you just have to come up with at least 4 of them and go ahead and put them in the chat. And whoever puts the 4, it's probably easiest to put them all in at the same time. So,
you're giving away the answers.
Because otherwise we'll never reconcile them. And this is for a Joyful Seeds gift certificate.
Samantha.
And like I said, we'll figure it out later.
All over it. Good job, Samantha.
Samantha had it.
So later on, we still have, we'll be giving away a Timbers signed jersey and a Thorns signed soccer ball, but I wanted to make it through the other sponsored items first. So if we lost Jason, then I guess.
I'm still here.
Okay, great. Yeah. Go ahead and do the intro for our next guest.
Okay. Well, nicely done, Kevin. You're very smooth. We're going to call him Smooth Kevin from now on. And congratulations, Samantha. Quick on the draw or quick on the Google, one or the other. Doesn't really matter. Okay. We have one more comedian for you tonight. And this guy is actually in Oregon. The one who canceled was also in Oregon. We were trying to get as close as we could. But this guy used to live in LA, and I miss him because he's so funny, and he was on a lot of shows with me. He's on Sirius XM all the time, Dry Bar Comedy. He works the cruise ships also. Put your hands together for the very funny Tyler Boeh.
Ready?
Boeh.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason. Great to see you, even over the screen. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Thank you for having me. I am Portland born and raised, so it's good to be doing an event like this that's going to be benefiting some good local charities. I hope everybody's enjoying the weather. This is usually like a once in a year event in Portland when we get this kind of snow and this ice. which just highlights the incredible driving skills of the folks of the Great Northwest. Of course, everyone knows that when you have snow, somebody in the chat, I grew a beard. No, actually, I've got a green screen. This is digitally mapped on. I just felt like I wasn't fulfilling my duty as a male in the Northwest. I didn't have a beard, so I thought, you know what, we just green screen one on here. And I also am raising some chickens and I'm growing some kale, so I feel like I'm doing my part. No, the driving into the snow, people. I was gonna say, of course, quick tutorial. When it's snowing, you want to try to decrease your following distance between you and the car in front of you. You want to stay very close, right in their tire tracks if you can. And then anytime that you need to stop, you want to slam the brakes on quick and try to jerk the steering wheel as violently as possible. Yeah, all the swerving helps you slow down. I think that's
It does.
Anyway, we're doing good. This last year has been absolutely crazy. I'm gonna try to stay positive and focus on the fun stuff. Lots of family time. We've had just like unlimited family time because up until last March, I was like a full-time touring comic. And then I became an elementary educator, like I'm sure a lot of you. Yeah, so I am homeschooling 2 kids. Mine, I should say that. They're my kids.
We hope so.
Yeah, that'd be weird if they weren't. I mean, I have 2 kids, but if I just had like other kids from the neighborhood, come on in. We're doing math today. Get in here. Yes, I've been homeschooled, but you know what? I try to roll with it, stay positive. It's like they say, sometimes when God closes a door, God also closes a window because you can't go outside. But you know, you got to make the most of it. But yeah, so much family time, which has been great. I mean, family's always been important to me. I was actually raised by a single mother and a single father, just one of each. They're still together. 46 years. So yeah, it's working out pretty great. It's pretty unconventional. I know most folks don't do it that way, but my folks are still sticking in there. My wife and I think my folks have been a great example for us. We had our 9-year wedding anniversary this last year. 9 years. Thank you. Yeah, that is that's the linen anniversary. If you keep track, every anniversary year has like a themed gift, right? They start out kind of simple, like paper, flowers, stuff like that. And then eventually you get to like silver and gold. But 9 years is linens. So Miranda suggested that we get like new sheets, towels, blankets, that sort of thing for the gifts. And she recommended that I go to the store Macy's while they still exist and get, they have this thing called the Hotel Collection. It's like their high-end line of products. Everything's nice, 5,000 thread count, Egyptian cotton. It's expensive though. So I reminded her, I was like, hey, we can do that if you want, but I travel frequently for comedy. So if you want hotel sheets, I can get us hotel sheets. It might take a few trips, might be a little mixy matchy. But you know, you might have a queen fitted sheet and a king top sheet. You just gotta tuck more in. So yeah, like a week after this conversation, I was coming out of a Sheraton with like a duffel bag of stuff over my shoulder. Guy at the front desk was like, "How was your stay? Will you be back?" I was like, "Me? I'll be right back. I gotta get that comforter." So yeah, we're doing good. My wife is a nurse practitioner and she works urgent care here. And so I don't know, some of you might have seen her. She's out there testing people daily, just stabbing people in the brain with a swab. And yeah, it looks so invasive. It looks like it does damage, if you ask me. They got to get way back in there. They got to sort of tickle your memories a little bit. And yeah, I don't know. It looks like one of those necessary evils. You know what I mean? like it does damage, but you need the information. It's kind of like getting your credit score checked. Like it hurts your score every time you do it, but you want the info. So I don't know. We're doing good. We had a good holiday. I hope everybody had good holidays. This is one of the things that I thought was wild. We had carolers come to our door. My kids had never seen carolers. And we got a knock on our door and we open it and it's like a family and they're like, "Hark the herald angels." And my son's just staring at him for like 3 seconds. And then he goes, "Alexa, skip." He had no idea what was going on. I was like, "Oh, no, it doesn't work like that. These are real people." But yeah, we got out and enjoyed the snow today. I don't know. I love living in the Northwest. We, although with all the lockdowns and stuff, we missed one of my favorite seasons in the spring, which is like the spring and the summer, which is like parade season, right? We got like the Rose Parade, the Junior Rose Parade, the Grand Floral Parade. We missed all that, and I remember like a year ago with the parades, I had a gig downtown, and I called an Uber, and the guy showed up in a float. Yeah, it took us 3 hours to go like a mile and a half, but we looked outstanding. I'll tell you, we really did. I love Portland. The thing that I don't, here's the thing. I like beer. I'm a beer drinker. I enjoy beer. You know where I like beer? I like beer at my house, and I like beer at a bar. I don't need beer everywhere. And that's my one thing about Portland. It's everywhere. Everywhere you go, everyone thinks that you need to have a beer. It's like some cool high school kid vibe. Like everywhere, like everyone's like, "We got some beer, man." You're like, I don't. You know what I mean? The other day I was out, this guy's like, "Hey man, we got a couple of IPAs on draft." I'm like, I just want to get these kibbles in these poop bags, man. This is a pet store. I'm not trying to hang out. Like everywhere you go to the barber shop, they got like the tall boys, and they'll got the whiskey at the. You go to a barber shop in Portland. "Hey man, you want a drink?" I'm always like, Have you been drinking? I don't think I want you with a razor next to my head. It's out of control. I was running some errands the other day trying to get some stuff done, and I popped in this one place, and they were like, "Oh man, we got a couple of great double IPAs," and I was like, "Your Honor, I just want to pay these parking tickets. If I could get out of here." Yeah. Petco has the best microbrews, says the chat. It's out of control. Yeah, so we're doing good here. I feel like for the most part. Lot of I'm trying to stay fit, doing the home workouts. I think working out's the best way to look good and feel good, but you can also just drink a bunch, then you feel like you look good. That also works. So it's just so weird. I feel like in the last couple years, there's been this huge push for health and fitness. Everyone's like, "Oh, you got to try yoga. You should be a vegetarian. You should try veganism." And then this 2020, people were like, "You can drink at breakfast." Yeah, if you need to. I think that counts as self-care. It's 2020. Do what you need to do. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of interesting stuff lately. I drink a lot of caffeine, and I've also recently gotten into ASMR videos. I don't know if anyone's listens to those to kind of chill out, go to sleep. So one of my new favorite pastimes is to drink a bunch of Red Bull and then listen to ASMR and just kind of let my body fight it out. Yeah, what are we doing? We getting ramped up? We going to sleep? I don't know. Let's see what yeah. I have noticed a lot of things about myself in quarantine. A lot of personal reflection. I noticed that when I eat, I strategize my bites. I do. I look at my plate and I decide what I want my last bite to be, and then I pick my bites accordingly. You know what I mean? Does anyone else do that? Like at Thanksgiving dinner, you're like, oh man, these mashed potatoes and gravy are pretty good, but I'm kind of feeling that stuffing. I definitely want to end on a stuffing bite. Right? Yeah, so then you start strategizing your bites around the plate. Isn't that normal? Yes, I hope
Totally.
so, because I feel like a crazy person. Yeah, you do have to end with the right bite. You don't want to, you don't want to go out on that weird Jello salad that your aunt always brings. What is that stuff? No, Jello and mayonnaise and marshmallows do not belong in the same bowl. It goes against everything that's right in the world. Let's see. Does anyone else have parents that live within walking distance of them?
Yes.
Oh my God, my dad shows up at my house every day, about 5 days a week, because I have a nice patio, and the only way that we feel, safe and comfortable interacting is outdoors. And so my dad will just show up on my patio, and he's like a stray cat. I just put a Pilsner out there, and he shows up. And, yeah, he does. And I get, you know what I mean? It's kind of weird, but I know my mom needs a break from him, so I let him come over, chat for a while, and then he usually has to borrow a tool for something, and then I send him back home.
You just never get it back.
Yeah, that's fine. You know what I mean? I'll inherit it eventually. Yeah, but sorry, I thought we were supposed to keep it positive, no dark comedy. That was kind of sweet but dark. I have a lot of jokes like that are sweet but dark. Like, has anyone? I know. Here's a sweet but dark one. Has anyone started saving voicemails from people because in case they die, you'll have something to listen to later on?
Yep.
Yeah, that is darkly sweet. You're like, oh man, Anna's getting up there. I better start saving these voicemails. That way, I got something to listen to. Yeah, what sweet but dark was my nickname in nursing school.
Don't go there. Sexy.
Don't go there.
Yeah. All right, I got to stop reading the chat and just focus on what I'm doing here. This is a fantastic show. What else is going on? Hey, this is. I wanted to share this story about the last time that Miranda and I went out to a restaurant, and this was months ago. But here's the thing: I mentioned that we had our 9-year wedding anniversary. When you've been together for a while, people say, "Well, what's the secret? How do you stay together?" You got to be a good listener. That's my one piece of advice for any relationship. You got to be a good listener. I feel like men get a bad rap. We get told men aren't good listeners. And I think that's unfair. I think there's a lot of men out there that are great listeners. I happen to be a good listener. If anything, I listen too much, honestly. I do, because I come from a long line of eavesdroppers. I do, absolutely.
We all.
And I know that's like a common complaint with partners, in relationships, like, you never listen. I'm always listening. That's the problem. I can't shut it off. And the last time that Miranda and I went out to eat, we went to Gravy on Sandy. I don't know if anyone's ever been there. Fantastic restaurant. But the tables are real close together. So we went out to breakfast and we get our food. We start eating, and these two ladies sit down next to us, and the first lady's like, "How's Daniel doing?" And the second lady just goes, "Ugh." And immediately I was like, I'm totally drawn in. I'm still making good eye contact with my wife, but I'm all ears over here. So they're going on and on. The lady's like, Daniel's over in Spain. He's doing that English teaching program I was telling you about. I don't know. He started dating somebody, which I think is good, but he's really struggling with anxiety and depression. So I'm really worried about him. I'm so concerned.
Yeah, I do.
They're going on and on. Eventually, we finished our breakfast, and Miranda's like, we should probably pay the tab and get going. And I was like, can we maybe have another cup of coffee? See how this Daniel thing plays out? Yeah, I'm emotionally invested at this point, so it's hard to just get up and walk away. But we had stuff to do, so we get in the car. I'm driving us home. The whole time I'm driving, it's absolutely quiet because I'm in my own head. I'm like, I don't think Daniel should be dating right now. Sir, he seems vulnerable if you ask me. I don't know. He's in another country. He's a little isolated. He could be desperate. But I don't know. Maybe it's good that he has some partnership. But if they break up, then where's he going to be? He'd be devastated. Oh. And if he's really struggling with anxiety and depression, like Eddie said, he should probably talk to a counselor or a therapist. Maybe see a professional. Maybe Daniel needs to do a little bit of work on Daniel. This is weighing on me for like 6 hours. Eventually, we're sitting at the dinner table, and I just like randomly look up at Miranda. I'm like, "You think Daniel's gonna be okay?" She's like, "Who?" I said, "Daniel from breakfast." "What are you talking about?" I said, "Daniel from Spain." You never listen. Never listen. I don't know. You folks have been fantastic. I think I know I should probably get going. I don't want to take up too much time this evening, and I do have another gig in like 2 months, hopefully. But so for all the local Portland folks, I am here. I am so excited to get back to doing live shows whenever we can do that safely. I hope you'll find me online, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's at Tyler Boeh. I'll throw it in the chat. Find me, connect with me on there, and I would love to catch you all at a live show whenever we can do that.
Thanks so much, Tyler. Great. Tony, you want to give away some Fuegarita or talk a little bit more about that and give some away?
Let's do it. That's great. So you can see Fuegarita over my shoulder here. We have a trivia question for, I don't know if my product set will show through the camera right there. Yeah, you can kind of see it, but we've got 4 different flavors of Fuegarita. And we just launched fire salt. Did you try the fire salt, Kevin? Did you get that?
did. I've used it all. I always use too much and like have to, have tissues when I'm having it because I'm like I use it as if it's regular pepper flakes or regular spicy salt, and then I realize it's twice as powerful.
Well, if you like spicy food, we've created Fuegarita from my wife Carmen's kitchen. She basically created it out of peppers that her dad and her brother would grow in their garden. And they'd dry out on the counter, and she put them in a food processor and started cooking with them. And when I met her, I started putting on top of prepared food, and it was too good not to bottle. So we're getting this product off the ground, and we've got a set of 3 bottles of Fuegarita, our pack of 3. If you answered this question, ready?
In the chat.
Okay, yeah, I'll put it in the chat, and I'm going to say it right now. But
no, I'm saying they have to answer it in the chat because
yes, you have to answer the chat, and it's a question someone will get quickly. But here's the thing: you have to spell the answer correctly in order to win the prize. Okay, and here we go. What is the active component in peppers that causes a burning sensation?
Oh.
Spell it right. No. Oh, everybody knows the word, but who spelled it right first? I gotta scroll back.
All right, we'll have to go through that later and see who spelled it later.
I will. I'll private message the winner with how to get your bottles of Fuegarita. But thanks for playing. You got a few more prizes to give away.
So we may as well do another giveaway, and then I'm going to actually do a debut of some really bad comedy that I wrote after that, and then after my bad comedy, which will only last 3 or 4 minutes, we'll give away the Timbers jersey. So, but for the Thorns signed soccer ball, put in the chat, who is the tallest Portland Thorns player?
Oh, I don't.
God. What are people saying? That one.
Yeah, we had the answer there. It is Bella Bixby. So go ahead and anyone who got the right answer, and I can verify it later, you can always email me, kevin@givingforward.org, and I can also put whoever's in touch with Tony on that. So I figured I'd take this advantage, take this opportunity, because I had sort of one of those weird, situations where you get like something just flies into your head. You think it's funny, and then you realize, I wonder if anyone else thinks it's funny. It's sort of Seinfeldian, but not actually nearly as funny as Seinfeld. So I realized there's a whole bunch of acronyms that don't work anymore because of the pandemic. And I was like, this is really crazy, because people are still using these acronyms, but they don't really make sense anymore. Like not safe for work, right? I mean, NSFW, that's meant because there's somebody in a cubicle right behind you, and somebody's going to text you something and it's a little off color, or it's got audio in it that's off color. Nobody's at work anymore. So does that mean it's not safe for home? And if it's not safe for home and it's not safe for work, where is it safe? Is it safe in your car? I don't think it's safe in your car either, because I don't know about you, but I've been driving down the highway and I see stuff that's not safe for car playing in the back of somebody's driver's seat. There's people playing porn as they're driving down the highway. The people in the back seat are watching porn. Maybe it's just me, but I've seen it more than once. So I don't think there's anywhere safe anymore. So I don't know what the new acronym would be for not safe for work. It's just not safe. And then there's out of office, right? Well, nobody's in office. So you got OOO. I get that in the email, right? The email autoresponder. And I'm like, well, they're not really in the office anyway. So what office? I don't see offices in people's Zooms. So is it out of home? No, it's not out of home. Is it, I asked my team about it, and they said, well, it's out of guest bedrooms. So it's OOGB, right? So maybe that's the new acronym that we have to use to replace that one. And, I'm an entrepreneur also running a nonprofit. So the whole end of business or end of day or close of business thing doesn't really apply to me, because when is close of business? I mean, I'm on the East Coast, you guys are on the West Coast. So is it your close of business, my close of business? Like I work till after midnight. So whose close of business is it? So I really now interpret that as SOBTND, which is start a business the next day, right? So that's really my my explanation for close of business. Some people still use OTP, and like if you're trying to communicate with them, OTP's on the phone. Who uses a phone? I mean, nobody's on the phone, so that's all completely useless. Another sort of thing I think we do, every family has like dad joke kind of stuff that happens, and in my family, me being the dad, and me then having those bad dad jokes, we have sort of an ongoing game we use, which I think is actually good because it stimulates people's thinking, because you sort of have to guess the one that the person who asks the question meant. And it's called like opposite words, right? And where you replace a piece of a word with another word, but the person who guesses it has to guess the one you had in mind, right? So, I started this a couple of years ago when the kids were small, and I'm like, all right, what's the opposite of seltzer? And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, sells him. And they have to think about it. And they're like, oh, okay, her, him. What's opposite of movie? What's opposite of toaster oven? Toast him oven. What's the opposite of cough he? Cough her. Or it could be sneeze he, right? You have to come up with these things which are like play on words. So those are my dad jokes. That's what my kids have to put up with. What's the opposite of whipped cream? Assertive cream. What's the opposite of popcorn? Mom corn. What's the opposite of tomato? Tomato hard to get. I don't know. I mean, you can come up with all these silly ones that are like not really opposites, but it's a game we play and it forces my kids to think. And since they're homeschooling right now, they don't really do much thinking. So I tried to replace some of that brain power. So the next giveaway will be the Timbers jersey, the signed Timbers jersey. So put in the chat the highest paid based on 2020 numbers, Timbers player. Who's the highest paid Timbers player? All right, well, a couple of folks got it there, so I think you have to get the whole thing in there, but it's all good. I'll figure out in the chat who did it first. If you think you were the first one, just email me, kevin@givingforward.org. That's all of our giveaways. Make sure that you do though if you have an interest in Luckii, go ahead, use your laugh 20 code, and if you do put any cash in on top of that, they match it. So there's other bonuses that go along with that, and plus we'll be keeping track of who registers tonight, and we'll be doing a drawing for a pair of AirPods. So we'll be doing this again. I hope. It depends on whether Luckii thought it was as wonderful as we did. We'll be tallying up all the votes that people had for nonprofits, and as my volunteer interns go through and try to figure out which nonprofits should get which checks. The answer for the drawing of the earpods, we'll have to go through and make sure we can reconcile the registrants against people who also registered on Luckii tonight, or if you guys want to, you can also email me, again, kevin@givingforward.org. You can email me like a screenshot of your thank you email when you register, just some way of me knowing that you actually went ahead and registered, so that we can put those in a pool. Probably won't be a huge number of people, so your odds are pretty good, but I want to make the odds harder. So I want more people to sign up, because it is sort of a cool service that has been empowered by the legislature in Oregon, because they've enabled people who are going stir crazy at home, who would have liked to have gone to a casino, to maybe do something that's similar. So Luckii is an online gaming platform. It's real money gaming based on historical horse racing data. So that's how it ends up being a horse racing application. It's fully licensed in the state of Oregon by the Oregon Racing Commission. So thanks everyone for coming. We'll see if we can do these. And that next one we'll probably do with Good Buzz is we'll probably do a national comedy event as opposed to a regional one. I'll see if I can get some national sponsors to sort of make it free. We'll keep everybody posted. If you signed up for this one, you'll be on our mailing list for the next one, and we'll try to do something national. I'll see if I can get somebody big like Maniscalco or somebody else as a big comedian. So we will absolutely keep you posted. Once again, thanks so much. Oh, and if you like, ordinarily we try to put up Jason's tip URL, but he didn't have it handy, so we weren't able to grab any tips for the comedians. But if you really wanted to, you could let me know. Again, kevin@givingforward.org. If you like the organization, we're cause marketing powered content, cause marketing powered events, you can always go over to givingforward.org or link to it from goodbuzz.org, which will be our content play. Goodbuzz.org is going to be sort of like Instagram, except the advertising revenue is going to go to nonprofits that both the contributors and the consumers pick. So we're launching with the Miss America organization as the interviewers. So basically, imagine them interviewing a bunch of people and then that turning into like 20 or 50 or 100 John Krasinski's all doing their own SGN, some good news shows. So that's my aspiration for the later this spring, is to take it there. So as far as the number of nonprofits, we'll have to figure it out afterwards. People could put in free form if they were using the Eventbrite or the Zoom registration. If they were registering on goodbuzz.org, we had preloaded that with about 70 nonprofits, but not everyone came in on a particular nonprofit link. So we'll be actually having to reconcile 3 different registration platforms together, doing the math, basically taking the $10,000 and splitting it up. We had about 1,000 registrants, so it'll end up being about $10 per registration, depending on which nonprofits were selected. And we had some ones that were sort of preloaded. So this is the end, Barbara. Jason had to run. If you went to our page, you would see that we actually made it through all of our comedians, except for the one who couldn't make it, who was Andrew Rivers, and he was replaced earlier. So Laugh 20 is the code. It should be in your follow-up email. Everyone who registered will get a follow-up email as well to remind. So, Laugh 20, you just go to luckii.com with 2 I's and use the code Laugh 20 when you register. That's $20 in free play. And they've got a deposit bonus running as well. So if you do decide to put some of your own money in, they're gonna match that deposit. So that's it for the evening. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining. It was fun to put this together. Everyone I spoke to in Portland and in Oregon said, let's absolutely do comedy, because I was either going to do like a battle of the bands or I was going to do comedy. And it was unanimous. Everyone said, do the comedy. As far as the after party, yeah, this is sort of the after party. Yeah, I mean, I was trying to get some VIPs, but the Portland, the Timbers and the Thorns and the other sports teams, nobody was available. Half of them aren't playing. The other half just are not in contact with their teammates. I tried to get some other folks. I was actually chatting with Miss Teen America earlier today, because she's going to be doing content creation with us. I don't know if she made it to the event or not. So I guess you'll have your own after party. It seems like you'll grab whatever beverage is good for you. For me, it's going to be Poland Spring Black Cherry for now. But everyone can have their own after party. I could give you more dad jokes, but then you'd probably be mad at me. So
hey, let's hear it for Kevin's comedy. Give it up.
Thanks, Tony.
We write the prizes before we could give you some gratitude.
Thanks. So I'm super easy to reach. Again, Kevin at givingforward.org. I would love ideas for upcoming events. We also would love to have volunteers. We have volunteers that do a bunch of different things. We'll have celebrity liaisons, nonprofit liaisons. We'll have a bunch of people doing different stuff. So we're sort of a nonprofit that helps other nonprofits. If I can beat what Amazon Smile is doing, they're up at 140